Welcome back, everyone, once again to the 2024 Tim Selinske U.S. Masters Disc Golf Championships, this PDGA Major. Coming your way here from North Carolina, we are switching venues to the beautiful Diavolo Park here, a white layout being specifically crafted for the FP40 division. Back in the booth once again, it's Felix Vega joined by Jennifer Allen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to, like he said, another beautiful course. Both courses they have given us for this major are absolutely incredible. Here you find your lead card for round 2. Myself, JK, KK, and Sarah Hokom.
Lots of initials fighting out here, and we'll take a look at the overall leaderboard heading into round 2. You see pretty tight battle still out there.
Yeah, and this is a course, again, that pars are great. There are a lot more birdies available, though.
Yeah, this is maybe not one of the easier ones to start on, though. Hole 1, 660-foot par 4.
Yeah, a little more open fairway here to start it out, but you can see that OB line all along the left. There is another OB line tucked really far in on the right, and you're just going to curve around here to a beautiful basket. We have a few of these on the rocks out here that makes a little extra bonus of beauty.
Leading the way here, Jennifer Allen, enjoying a nice lead so far. 4-stroke advantage over the field to start things off here for round 2. What are you throwing here, Jen?
Guess.
T-Bird?
T-Bird. Jen Allen T-Bird. That's actually the one that I aced with at Beaver State because it's a little more beaten, understable. Trying to keep it nice and straight, not where it's going to flare over there to the left side OB.
Okay.
And I was told by the locals, just trying to kind of shoot manhole to manhole on this hole is a great way to plan it out.
Okay.
And Juliana just showing us exactly how it's done. Nice, slow, not a lot of turn disc there with some great distance.
Good stability, held the line there for her.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kristine King here, pulling on the right side of the fairway, looking to drag that disc over towards the end there.
Yeah, and that's how you want to try to stay away from that left side, is just hugging the right tree line as long as you can. And Sarah's really been showing us a lot of backhands this year, so hopefully we'll see a mix of those today, but definitely a forehand-friendly course.
So peeling a bit too far left, and unfortunately is going to find that OB left side.
Which I think she would use the forehand to stay away, so that was unfortunate. Just a little too much turn on it. Didn't fight back quite as quick as she wanted. But it's perfect for this next shot.
Very well done, putting yourself in position. Forehand for Kristine, also getting a little flirty with that left side.
Yeah, stability saved her there, hyzering in right at the right time. Gonna have a good jump. This is a par 4, so plenty of room to work with. I had been overturning it too much to the right, and that Mako just got super stable on me and just kind of went down the little slope of the hill there. So unfortunately, I messed up a great drive and gonna add an extra stroke.
It flew like a rock 3 more than a
It
Mako
did.
there.
I was dumbfounded. I think the nose was just up a little too much, so it hyzered it out.
Great shot.
Beautifully done there for Juliana.
I don't think this is a hole I really would have ever planned to play. Like, I wasn't throwing that Mako to try to get the birdie. I think it's a great hole to just try to start for a nice, safe par. I'm not sure. Was there any birdies on this hole today?
Well, we still got a couple that may have a chance. So let's see. Juliana still has a look for a possible birdie if she's wanting to run that one. But I did see on the flyover that it played 1.31 strokes above par.
Yeah, this is a tough hole. I mean, OB on those first 2 shots, and then a slightly elevated basket.
Thank you so much.
That was a thank you to the spotters. I'll go ahead and do it again. So thank you. There's so many spotters and volunteers out here. So many people that put in a lot of work to make this town and this event special for us. So thank you. Big shout out to all of them. A little tap in. Unfortunately, with the out of bounds, that'll be a bogey.
Juliana, after laying up, is going to settle for her par. And as we suspected, there were no bogeys on hole 1 today.
No birdies.
No birdies, sorry.
Unfortunately, there was a couple bogeys on this card.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good one to play for par to start out.
Moving on to another par 4, but this one a little shorter, maybe a little more attackable here at 510 feet.
One that you break into two, you can see this route that the drone is flying, which is a hyzer layup. There is also an inside gap that you can try to shoot out straight. Somewhere landing either of those there to approach the second shot through this tiny gap, and just lots of little trees. So once you get off, it's sometimes hard. And I think what's hard about it is trying to get a certain turn or angle long enough straight. Like if you get off to the side, it's hard to gain that distance back on a very tiny gap fairway like that. Juliana with another beautiful place drive. She's so good about that first placement shot. I'm going to go ahead and take my rock 3 through the straight gap, try to bite off a little more distance.
Oh, and a little friendly tree
Nice
direct.
little tree kick. I know. Watching that, I don't know if I'll do that line the next time.
It seems like that's the aggressive line, though, if you can get something maybe a little faster to hold that line for a little longer.
It is. Not too many of us got a lot of practice out here with that tropical storm that moved through, so I only threw that line once. Okay. I do think if I would have thrown it again, maybe a T-bird, but it's a hit or miss when you step up the stability on. Will you then go too far and then be into that next row of trees? So, great little kick there. And one more might have been a little too much, but I think she's going to have a look. She's in C2.
Kristine a little bit off to the right here, looking to punch up the fairway.
That could have been a calendar shot. Those trees are just gorgeous. A little more spaced out than buckhorn though, so that's what's going to give us a little better shot of trying to get under par, as well as actually having FP40 pars and a T-pad. So
what a beautiful shot there for Sarah Hokom.
Yeah, dialing in that forehand. Such an important shot to have in the woods. Going with a Toro, trying to just get a little skip back to the middle.
I'm just going to be off on that right side a bit there. Looks like maybe you got a hallway to get through.
Yeah, I think once you get close to C2, you might be able to snake a putter through to at least, to save that next putt.
Yeah. Good scramble there for Kristine as well. Oh.
Yep.
Giving her a little bit of a bid there?
No.
Okay. All right.
Not at all. Had to take the hyzer route around the tree. You could do that or the turnover or just trying to place it. So it's kind of like knowing what we had learned about the ground play of the pine needles. I kind of tried to go with the hyzer to scoot it towards the basket.
Okay, which it did.
You just don't know what these rocks are going to do.
Yeah.
I feel like they are nicer than the koozies, which is weird.
Saw the par there for Kristine. This is Hokom for birdie, and she collects one of only 2 birdies on the day. Sammy Jo Guerrero with the other one as you nearly get mule kicked there.
Yeah. She doesn't do that very often. It is really up there, and it's the rock in front of it that's weird. And it was such a weird, it looked like a totally weird angle.
I was going to say, you go through different iterations of your putt
Well,
there.
like I was trying to decide, do I just flop that turbo in, but I was still kind of out there. It's kind of a different height than our normal elevated,
Yeah. Good job getting it in there and securing it.
Yep.
The United States Disc Golf Championship. A tournament with history unmatched in the disc golf world.
You bet! Colin Hanley is on fire.
Talk about giving the crowd a show. What a performance from Kyle Klein.
Gannonberg, this kid is unbelievable.
Oh my God!
welcome back to the action. Our first par 3 of the day here at the Avalo White, 265 feet.
This one's going to go down this pretty good fairway here, and we're going to find the basket tucked over to the right. A lot of these holes through the tree don't really have a lot of OB that come into play, just your scramble shots once you get off into the trees. So pretty simple hole.
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. I was gonna say this might play as like maybe one of the easier holes on the course.
I just think so.
Kind of guessing. And it sets up beautifully for Sarah's forehand here. And we also have, I want to say maybe a handful of lefties playing this weekend in FP40.
Oh, very nice.
Beautiful shot there.
They were tested at Buckhorn, so.
Oh boy, not a lefty course at all.
So I think they're going to have a few more holes that will play towards their game at this course.
Love the line here for
Yeah,
Juliana.
the slow turn and just holds it so nicely.
Puts her in the circle there.
Going with the Mako that didn't want to turn on hole 1. it remembered.
There you go. Now it
There
acted
we
like a Mako.
go.
It's a new thing.
Oh, my pocket was out. I was on the phone for like the first 6 holes, making sure my son was in school, doing mom things. You know, it's never over.
Never not a mom.
No.
Oh, a little unfortunate kick there for Kristine.
You know, that might have been better though. She has kind of maybe a little bit more of a hyzer line in, hopefully. Yeah, so
like
she
you said.
I was gonna say it opens up. She just had a little bit in on that left side, so it gives her a lot of room to work with versus maybe having to fight through a little more trees on that right side.
Ooh, just a touch slow there.
Felt good out of the hand, had a lot of spin on it. Was hoping to save or get that birdie.
Sarah looking like a couple of steps inside the circle and connects. Consecutive birdies here for Sarah Hokom.
I just kind of had that feeling like, oh, she's about to do something here. You know, like she's looking good right out the gate.
A little right side there for Juliana. Recenters herself here.
I've noticed several times throughout the day just the sun kind of beaming in occasionally, just lighting up the basket.
That's a really good putt for Juliana. We've seen in the past where she can kind of ping pong back and forth.
I think we all have. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's something that happens occasionally.
Good job there for Sarah Hokom taking the only birdie on hole 3 as we move on to hole 4. This one, par 5, 839 feet.
Yeah, and I think that drone started on the men's pad there, the longer blue pad. We're going to be a little bit shorter, but still a multiple placement shot, trying to make either the tighter gap there on the left or the hyzer line, placement shot, then another shot, trying to get down towards the basket. I heard by the locals this doesn't get birdied very often as well. So a lot of these, again, pars are great scores. Snag a birdie here or there. Hitting on that left side is going to give her an unfavorable kick, but hopefully she can punch back out. So you can see the gap here. Choose your lane. The hyzer line is going to bring you back
To body
in.
language.
Yes, anything that
It
works.
works.
So that's going to bring you back to the middle of the fairway. If you take the straight line with kind of understable disc or just a straight one, you might finish, you have the odds of kind of finishing a little more left or right. So I originally took that inside gap but would find myself over on the right.
Okay.
So taking that hyzer line, I was able to find the center cut a little more often.
Okay.
Meaning I threw it a couple times, so I think it was like 50-50.
Take your odds when you can get them.
Yeah.
Kristine out here on the right side, pitching back over to the fairway. Smart play. Not trying to do too much there. Sarah, we were talking about the backhands. Here's one of them.
Yeah. And it lines it up perfectly. It just a hair short. And I find that when I do my forehand, you know, like we're so focused on our form, on hitting the line, on the release, that it just ends a hair soft.
Yeah.
Nice clean release there from KK. She's going to try to get to that open area to punch down towards the basket. I want to say it's like 200 feet maybe from that opening at the top.
Okay.
So you want 2 shots to get down to that area. And you can see it on, 300.
300, yeah.
But that actually may be for the longer tee, so I'm not for sure.
A little pinch here, a little step back hyzer.
Yeah, just trying to sneak that Toro back to the middle again. And like I said, it's a good little cutout disc, but you're not going to get that distance forward progress when you have to do that.
Threading the needle. And finishing back towards the fairway.
And it kind of opens up a little bit more down here, so as long as you can kind of jump out or twist out a little bit, hopefully you can find a gap to get to the basket. So perfect, flat, great glide. Just, I don't know if it could have flown much further.
No.
It looked like it was about to finish anyways.
Maybe
but
another 15 feet at the most with some slide there.
yeah, really hard to get all the way down there. Okay, trying to get a little more distance with that flex. And it's just hard to do when there's that many trees. So,
Forehand.
yeah, first time with the rock. And just like I said with Sarah's, like I hit the line, just needed a little more power on it.
Good approach there for Kristine.
But that definitely, you find yourself where you almost have to do the forehand. Here, Hokom having to do another backhand. And that's something I don't think we really see much,
Whoa.
right? Going down with it, just naturally giving into it. That's what you do so you don't get hurt, right? You just kind of naturally go with it.
Great execution. That is not an easy shot. That
No,
she
because you
pulled
see
off
her
there.
working with the backhand off the tee or up shots, but not too many short approaches. That's a really forehand kind of shot typically. So great line from Sarah.
Looks like you're trying to figure out the puzzle here yourself.
Yeah, I thought I had an inside route, but knowing that, you're risking if you take that inside gap of not progressing as far. So hoping that if it glides, you just got to make it glide on that stream.
Beautiful execution there. 2 very high level up shots we just saw from yourself and Hokom there.
And when you're stuck on the course with a couple of options, I think that's the best advice is take the one that you can get the farthest without hitting anything, right?
Very deliberate.
Yeah, and this is a kind of a new little change to her putt that
We've seen different iterations of her putt throughout the years. This
She's-
one looks new.
Yeah, this looks new. She's going a lot lower. I've seen a lot of closed eyes and breathing, kind of really focus and relax, and then execute.
Yeah.
And it's working. And whatever works for anybody.
Strong putting
No
so
one
far.
has to look the same. If your form or putt or drive is a little different and it works for you, perfect. She's scoring with it.
Absolutely
So I don't.
is. Yeah. 1 down so far, so. And a great par scramble for yourself there.
Yeah, par on that hole is just fine.
Yeah. We'll move on to hole 5. Another par 4. Pretty long course if you're not seeing the theme here. 570 feet.
I do like that we see grass and some open flight for the Frisbee to fly. So gonna try to get around that little bridge for your first landing zone, then punching it in to another elevated basket on this beautiful quartz. Does slope off pretty drastically past the basket. Trying to get that second shot, maybe even just landing at the gap and not trying to turn it would be a good plan.
Yeah.
That I might try to execute next time.
Backhand hyzer.
That backhand hyzer looked pretty good. Maybe a little high. Kipping a little flatter might have got her a few more feet, but it's going to sit up just fine.
You don't need too much off the tee here.
Nope, just a nice clean spot for the second shot.
Ooh, that needs to hurry back left.
Perfect.
Just holds on there.
Maybe
Safe.
not perfect, but it's safe.
Yeah.
Might be a tricky second shot. I think that left side plays a little bit better into the basket. Working a destroyer. It's nice to finally grab a destroyer. Haven't been able to do that too many times this week.
Nicely done. Grass a little soggy out here too. We're dealing with some residuals from the storm still.
I never heard how many inches, but I would guess like 8. Like it rained pretty hard for several days. I know the coast got like 12 to 2 feet, like 1 to 2 feet over there.
Sarah flexing that forehand, trying to get into the gap and
It's a beautiful shot.
in the circle. Kristine looking to follow that same line. A little early though.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was the same disc that turned a little too much for her on the previous hole, but I remember her saying I thought that was going to hyzer out, so maybe trying to make an adjustment from the previous hole.
Yeah, this right side you can see forces a much more drastic angle on your shot.
Yeah, talk about skills to execute this.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah, getting anywhere near circle 1 from that is excellent. This should be the simplest, you know?
Putter in hand, little turnover.
Putter in hand, turned it a little too much. Definitely going to try to aim towards that high side next time.
You just let it drag over naturally. Little pitch up there for Kristine, puts her right by the rock bed. Juliana doing the same.
And I like to be a groupie, so I thought I'd do it too. What the heck?
Nobody trying to get the birdie here? Sarah?
I mean, the birdie
closest
queen
look.
of the day. Like, she is on a roll.
Let's see if she can pick this one up. Be a good one to get. And she scores
Excellent
again.
putt.
Only birdie on the day on hole 5.
How many times have we said that this week?
This round alone, Hokom, I think, has done it twice. Couple of par cleanups here for the rest of the lead card before we move on to hole 6. Easy does it.
The PDGA rating system is a valuable part of having an active membership. When you play in sanctioned leagues and tournaments, you get a rating that compares your performance to the rest of the field. This helps you understand your skill level and helps you see your improvement in the game. You also get a PDGA number when you first sign up. Your PDGA number timestamps when you sign up, locking in your place in disc golf history. So sign up today, and we'll see you out on the course.
All right, welcome back to the action here. We pick things up on hole 6, another par 4, this one 508 feet.
So 2 lines to approach the basket on this hole as well. You can take this right side just next to that sign that says 200 feet, or there is a back door on the left side that also opens up a pretty good angle towards the basket. Maybe a little more narrow, but with those turnover shots or a forehand, you can glide in there nicely. A lot of placement shots on both of these courses. Trying to just get out there to the middle.
Once turned the bit out of the hand for Sarah, it's going to find that left side.
Yeah, I think that's going to be great, though, to approach it on that side. Originally, I tried to go to the right side, and if I overturned it at all, it was very difficult to try to get back online for the gap to the hole. So I kind of liked going towards the left side a little bit more. Yeah, I was trying. Need to cut that in just a little bit tighter next time.
Oh, man.
Good kick, though, back to the middle. And I think anywhere out in the middle, you can try to get into this line on the right side.
Oh, just a touch outside. Wanted to cut that inside line there.
Yeah, a little early release. See if KK can make it. Yeah, there we go.
Good.
Great shot.
Oh, beautiful floaty approach there.
All of her shots are very smooth and maybe a little less spin, but they still get great distance because of her releases clean.
Oh no, go, go, go.
She doesn't like it. A little bit too much angle there. Cut it down early.
One with a little flippier Mako. Both the yellow one and this red one are the same disc, just one's a little older.
Okay.
So it holds the turn just a little bit more. It's not going to hyzer out like the yellow one would.
Beautifully done there.
And that's where I like taking a little bit more of the turnover lines into these greens, because I can throw a disc that goes slower and holds that line a little bit longer than something that's a little more stable.
JK going to fade off of the circle 2 there. Hokom right side.
Must look cool from over there.
So from my angle, it was chain high and looked great. I did apologize for that later when I was told it was a few feet just outside.
You're just trying to be encouraging.
I did.
I dig
I always,
it.
you know, like you try.
Oh, good bid there for JK.
Yeah, drop it just a hair too quick.
C2, look here. Oh, hands up. Oh, she knew it.
You always do. I don't think it, like if I'm 5 feet or 50 feet, like you know when it comes out right. Same on a drive. Like you know when you let it go like it's supposed to. We've done this a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think after like 12 to 15,000, like your hand knows what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Of course I make circle twos this week when we're not keeping track.
That's picking up one of the 4 birdies. Sandy
Nice.
Hendel, Ellen Whitboom, and Jama Cartwright.
Awesome.
Hole 6 playing exactly to par.
Then that's a great hole.
We move on to a fun one, another par 4, the 730 feet, hole 7.
And I love a course design that gives you those options. Like make me choose if I want to take one line or the other. So a lot of these holes do that. So pick your poison going left or right through an entire row of trees. From start to finish, you need to stay on one side or the other. A little bit of a sloped green. Another fun hole.
Yeah.
It's a really good design course. I'm going with the turnover line here with my TL, trying to get a nice floaty float. Unfortunately, it does a slidey slide too.
Yeah.
That last, 10 foot of slide got me.
Covered a lot of ground, though.
It did. I would have loved that to have stopped where it landed. Sarah taking the inside straight line.
I like that line.
It's going to put her, I think, right in the middle.
Starting to stable up at the right
Yeah,
time and just
perfect.
holds that right side.
These ladies showing us how to hit that placement for the next shot.
Don't hit it. It does.
And that's what we were talking about the other day. Remember, just like inches, you get very punished.
Yeah.
Shank a shot
Yeah.
and miss by a couple of feet or more, maybe 10, and you're fine.
You're golden, yeah. JK having to punch out.
Yeah,
Back across
now
the
she's
fairway.
over there where she needs to be.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do in the woods. Don't feel like you have to bite off a lot. You're going to end up usually probably getting a few more. She pitches out, gets
Beauty.
right up back to the green. So very smart golfer there. She has a couple of years to,
And a couple of championships.
to earn that.
Love this shape here. Sarah dicing up this hole. And in the circle with a look for the birdie.
I wonder if we're going to see more approaches with the backhand. That definitely was like a backhand line, but she executes. She's done it for so long,
Yeah.
turning. I don't know if there's another golfer that turns the disc over as good as she does. She makes her forehands look like hyzer shots very well. They're so accurate.
A little bit of indecision here, looking at all the options.
I knew that the Mako wouldn't hold the turn, and
What a
so
gap.
I just closed my eyes. You know, I actually focused very hard and tossed the rock up there.
Just getting it through.
Yeah, I was 99% sure I was going to smack a tree or two.
Not only was the gap there, but you also had a small tree growing up, blocking about 2/3 of the way
But there was
up.
like that leany tree over there. I knew I couldn't get the height that I needed for the Mako.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I made that putt. I was really excited. But I also thought it was a par 3, so I thought I was like, I love to save par.
Oh.
Then I found out it was a birdie putt, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that was good.
Hokom with the birdie putt.
Another one. Just
Converts.
dialing them in.
3 down through 5. Making a charge up that leaderboard.
Is that where the flames start shooting across?
Yeah.
We give her a couple more. I want to see some flames on the screen here.
Par save there for Kristine. And Juliana will drop in her bogey.
And off we go.
Only 2 holes left here on this front 9. Hole 8. Very scoreable 241-foot par 3.
Yeah, shorter, but not, you know, that just doesn't mean it's going to be a gimme birdie here. You're still going to have to hit a very accurate line and then get it to stop near this rocked basket. Again, no OB, really just dialing in really the distance with that hitting the line. So straight shot or the hyzer, but not skipping into the tree where you don't have a putt. So I need something that just holds that straight flight.
Kind of like that.
Kind of like that.
That'll do.
That's how you do it.
A bullseye hit there for Sarah Hokom.
So going with the Mako that flew straight, hoping that it was going to do it again, but now it's flying like a Mako. I think it
Little
knew.
surprised you don't go. Oh, you're throwing putters or not necessarily? You're throwing putters. You said, right?
Yeah, I've lost
This one?
those.
Yeah.
But being 2-4, I don't know. It is a kind of a tweener. I would really have to throw the putter really hard, and then you increase your percentages
Yeah.
on missing the line. It's kind of almost out of putter range,
Okay.
but really easy to get a mid to go far.
Mm-hmm.
Just catching that last little tree, but gives her a kickback where she can still attack it if she wants to. Smart play.
Yep.
I mean, we've already said how many times that par on any hole out here is good. Birdies are great bonus.
Yeah, that's been the case on both courses this week. Just a touch low, but sits up on the top of that crest there.
Yeah, frustrated. That one, again, felt good out of the hand. I think these are just a hair off of our normal elevated pins. You know, Disc Golf Pro Tour does a good job. Great birdie putt by KK of kind of regulating the height that we're always putting on, you know, because the boxes. So these are just a little off, and you don't want to fly over.
Oh, of course. Good par save there. Hole 8, one of the more scoreable holes. Playing .25 below par. It's all 6 birdies all day.
Nice. It's almost half the field.
You want a new disc, but you're overwhelmed by all of the options. Well, we've got you covered. Meet the Innova Pathfinder Guides, a series of graphics that match a set of discs for your style of play, curated by our own Riley O'Neill and Eric Schwann. Whether you're the beginner, the crusher, or anywhere in between, we've got a lineup for you. So scan the QR code, find a guide that matches your style of play, and discover your path to a better game. If you haven't seen these, you're missing out. All right, back to the action.
And welcome back. Here we are at hole 9 to close out this front 9 with a par 5, 642 feet.
I'm going to take that first placement shot and try to land it right at this opening to hit a very tricky gap here. Again, trying to go around the right or left side of this tree to approach the basket. That's tucked up here a little bit to the right. A lot of winding on these courses. Left, right. You really have to play golf out here. This first one, a pretty elevated tee shot. So we're going to try to get down there by that pine tree in the middle. This hyzer's pretty quick, but I think we're going to be okay. Gets a little bounce.
Ground play there.
A little bounce back towards the middle.
This is a hybrid layout of this course, so not necessarily holes that we're used to seeing in this iteration.
I think the locals play the white tees a lot.
Okay.
So trying to go with that high hyzer, just a hair too wide.
I didn't even see the top of that right tree that you clipped.
I didn't either. Blends in.
Ooh,
I
like
thought
the
if
slow
anything,
line.
I'm going to hit the ones by that tee box.
Yeah.
Which is, if you see another tee box out on a fairway, you always know that not a bad place to land because there's probably an opening towards the basket. So going with that same shot basically off the tee, trying to get back to that gap.
I feel like we've seen that shot from you quite a bit already.
Yeah.
That like step out, back door type of hyzer.
Yeah. Landing on that left side sets up the hyzer, which typically works all right for me.
Nicely done there.
Christine getting a little hop, yeah. Anywhere towards the middle of this one. This landing zone is very important to try to get to really execute the second shot, the third shot, the second shot into the woods.
Yeah.
These long par fives.
Finishes back in the fairway there for Juliana.
Getting a little steamy out here too. Very humid all week.
It was foggy in the morning, and then it kind of dried up quick and just turned into a humid afternoon.
Steam bath.
Yeah. Beautifully done there for Sarah.
No wind though. It's
Yeah.
really after a huge storm like that to start off the week. The weather's really been pretty beautiful ever since. Cutting back just a little too soon. Needed a little more distance on that shot.
Kristine, you can see the gauntlet she's facing here of trees.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, hitting the gap that you're aiming at is okay, but getting that disc to continue to fly along the very narrow path for an exact distance is the hard part.
That takes high-level execution. That's why this is for a major.
Right, and it just takes the disc and the distance to match up, right?
Another Mako doing work out here.
And that's the new disc, I believe, by MVP. The Rave, is that right?
Something like that. Yeah, Rave, Rage.
I think it's
something.
I think it's the Rave.
It's supposed to be.
This is the Yeti. Yeti doing work.
Oh, floaty. Wow, very floaty.
It was only like 95 feet away, so you couldn't really throw it too hard. Yeah,
You threw it 95 feet in the air too.
I have to make a
So it's
distance.
180 feet of total distance.
Yeah, putters go far. That's exactly how far my putters go. It's perfect. Yeah, and Christine and I were joking how like just a couple feet, she had just a perfect open fairway, little gap there.
Yeah.
1 to 2 feet in the woods will really totally change a shot.
Oh yeah, out here, absolutely. Good par there for Christine, and we're gonna have a couple of drop-in birdies, I believe, for Juliana and for Sarah.
Yeah, to birdie it is great to just have a couple of tap-ins. Man, they really executed the hole exactly how it was designed.
And just like that, we wrapped up the front 9 here from round 2. Tim Selinske, we'll take a look at our leaderboard here, our lead card.
Yeah, and Sarah Hokom getting over half of those, starting out the front 9 at 5 down.
Yeah, on a heater officially here, closing some ground, and we're looking to see if she can continue the torrid start here out in Diavolo. Make sure you come on back, check out the back 9 here of the Tim Selinske U.S. Disc Golf Masters Championships. Make sure to like and subscribe.